think I got this one at a mall in Burlington, North Carolina, um, back in about 2005 off season, back when these first came out. So you can see in the bottom left hand corner, this is a Topps Bazooka, that collection. I'd actually never heard of it at the time, but pretty neat looking cards. Got that simple, playful kind of look to them. This card's actually a neat one because it's #1 in the series. See the writing, it's very, very cartoonish. Very, very pleasant sort of aesthetic they went for. I enjoyed them a lot. But I don't know, I look at Willis McGahee, I look at a guy whose career in hindsight, it's pretty underrated. I mean, you look at what he did with the Bills, and then you look at what he did with the Ravens, and then toward the end of his career with the Broncos. Great speed, always had great anticipation, very smart in terms of seeing where the holes were opening up, where to go. Pretty good hands at times when offenses wanted to use him that way. And always great stiff arm. That was always the most exciting part of his game. You could just knock over defenders on the run. A lot of his career, he wasn't like necessarily the #1 go-to every down back on the team that he was on. I think that counts against him a little bit in terms of just how well people remember him. I think that and the fact that he was on those 3 different teams, but I liked him best at the very end there with the Broncos. If you think back to the whole Tebow mania phenomenon and who really ought to get credit for that, give Mike McCoy some credit, obviously, and it got him that head coaching job with the Chargers. Give Matt Prater some of the credit for that. Obviously, got those key field goals in the close games. Give Von Miller and that defense a lot of credit because he had a phenomenal rookie season. And give a little bit of the credit to Tebow, even, I'd say, because he did come through in some clutch situations, even if he wasn't really what you want in an NFL quarterback. But I think in all that, you can't forget everything that Willis McGahee did for that team, because he made some great plays for them too, and it's unfortunate he's not better remembered at this point. You also like the person that he was then too. He was early in his career wasn't a bad guy, but definitely a little bit on the cocky side. But I think some of those injuries toward the end at Baltimore, once he came back from them, he had kind of a fresh perspective on things, and you could tell he was just really excited to be back to playing the game that he loved, and it was very humbling for him, I think, but you liked him more and more the longer he played, and the longer you had been exposed to him, so yeah. Cool guy, and I love the image they captured for this card. It's really great job on their part.